WT. First Alert 6 starts now.
We begin tonight with a First Alert 6 Investigates exclusive, a court fight over tens of millions of dollars. Good evening, I'm Brian Mastery.
And I'm Erin Sullivan. It involves a series of back and forth lawsuits against those who work at an Omaha medical company and its financial subsidiaries.
Now, this is a story I've been tracking for 2 months. At its core are allegations of fraud. The company who was sued is Banyan Medical Systems. This is their website. The Omaha-based business creates virtual nursing solutions and efficiencies for hospitals across the country. The owner is Anthony Buddha Jr. An out-of-state investment company, Dex Capital, filed a lawsuit earlier this month claiming Banyan Medical Systems was diverting hospital payments that it was supposed to get, nearly $30 million worth, another $100 million in the pipeline. A Douglas County District Court judge granted Dex Capital a temporary injunction. Well, days ago, the owner of Banyan Medical Solutions, Tony Buddha, filed a response and counter lawsuit, claiming that he is the victim. He says that his chief legal officer, Ryan E. Scott, deceived Banyan Medical Solutions by entering other contracts and diverting money to himself. In fact, in court filings, attorneys say Ryan Scott wrote the company a letter, allegedly admitting to owing Banyan Medical Solutions $21 million with promises that he will make it right. Ryan Scott is no longer with the company. Now, Banyan Medical Solutions has been sued several times in the last few weeks by several other investors who say they are also owed money. Attorneys for Banyan Medical Systems, in a statement, tell me they are working with law enforcement regarding what it calls fraudulent conduct and forged documents by a former employee. Remember, at this point, these are only civil cases. First Alert 6 Investigates will keep track of how these lawsuits move forward. We'll be sure to share any important updates.
Turning to weather now, you'll want to get out